Welcome to Caliente Topics. This is your daily tax webcast. I'm your host, Veronica Russell, along with Patrick Russell, EA from MMTAXMAN.com. Good morning to you, Patrick.
Good morning, Veronica. Guys, we're going to be swinging back around and extending our conversation that we started previously on two real big topics. One, deducting legal fees, and the taxability of any proceeds from the settlement of a lawsuit. All right, softball question for you this morning, Veronica. What's the only settlement proceeds that's non-taxable in the IRS code?
Personal injuries.
You got it. That's right. Personal and physical injury is the only proceeds settlement that has been excluded from income from the IRS tax code. Now, any other payment or settlement that you might have received out of a lawsuit is generally going to be reportable and taxable and coming with the end of the year form. All right, so softball question number 2 for you, Veronica. If part of your proceeds of the settlement of the lawsuit is back wages and pay, what's the end of the year form you'll receive?
W-2.
That's right. So what will happen is that they will remove automatically all the payroll taxes that you would have done if you earned or received the paycheck on time, which is Social Security, your Medicare, your federal, and your state withholding, plus your there you go, disability.
Yeah.
But what we're looking at is the end of the year form will designate and light the light bulb in your head that this is going to be something that's going to have to be taxed.
Yep.
And that goes for all other items that you might receive too. Some common ones being, well, what if they paid late and the judge forced the company to pay me some interest?
Yeah.
Will that be taxable? The answer is not only is it taxable, but you'll also receive the tax form, the Form 1099-INT. That'll also alert you to its necessity to be reported. What about punitive damages? Softball question number 3. Yeah. Veronica, is punitive damages taxable?
It is taxable, and you will get a 1099 miscellaneous.
That's exactly right. Anybody out there that's listening that do their own taxes know what I say when I say the term other income, line 21. Because that's essentially where the 1099 miscellaneous is going to be reported for any of the penalty or employer wrist slapping that was part of your pie that came out of the settlement. Now, the reason why we're talking about different sorts of pay is because in most cases a settlement will include a whole pie, if you will, of different types of sources of payment, whether it be back pay, whether it be for the physical injury. Ooh, here's one. Emotional distress. Now, we get this one quite a bit, and I'll tell you right now, Veronica, I'll make it easy for you. So emotional distress is one of those loophole items that you have to know the circumstances. If the emotional distress settlement, the portion that was labeled as emotional distress, was born from a physical injury, it's also tax-free, exempt from income. However, if the money that you received was solely from some emotional distress that you were able to win a case on, that is line 21, other income. Now, legal fees. There's no bigger item in the tax code that requires a tax pro to be really mindful of all the sub-rules and loopholes to where a legal fee could possibly be deducted, even though we had said previously that starting in 2017 with the adoption of Trump's TCJA and the suspension of the miscellaneous itemized deduction subject to the 2% of AGI, remember they removed that whole block off of your Schedule A. What are some schedules that you can still take legal fees on because they signify that you have a business operation as part of what's going on?
Definitely. So if you have a business, that will be under Schedule C. For rental properties or rental owners, that will be under Schedule E.
Excellent.
And if you do have an LLC per se, that will be on the K1.
Wonderful. If you have as part of your tax return a Schedule C, a Schedule E, or you report activities from a K1 from your own LLC or S corporation, which would then flow on to your Schedule E, page 2. Yeah. If any of these words are familiar to you, then you absolutely have a great chance of using those legal fees as a deductions if the settlement and judgment was born from the activities of one of those, either the rental property or the businesses in question. Now, personal legal fees. This is the part of the talk where you have to be very mindful that as right now, with the suspension of the miscellaneous itemized deduction subject to 2%, personal legal fees in many cases are not deductible. But now there are exceptions to the rules that we're hearing about. But now, guys, when I say that we're hearing about in tax court cases, meaning that we're recently hearing about taxpayers taking the IRS to court over legal fees that were over what they call the production of income. That now the IRS in certain tax court cases in private letter rulings have actually allowed certain expenses that were in the pursuit of back wages, right, or back income from an employee related activity. So how that works out, to be honest with you, we're still going to keep our eye on this case, because even though we see that the tax court might side with the taxpayer, we still haven't seen the rules and regulations or the new forms that could reflect that new tax change. So guys, once again, an ongoing conversation, but one that we're going to keep you guys abreast with as we see the new information get published out. Great job, as always. Thank you so much. That was a lot of information for us to go over, and we're going to come back over it again. Guys, a real quick way to get an answer is by using our comment box below. Please post your questions. We'll be more than happy to help you out. Guys, we'll be doing this tax pro bono workshop on a daily basis, but don't just subscribe to the show. Be part of the show. It's going to make it a whole lot more fun. Guys, no matter what happens today, no matter what challenges or obstacles you may face, you just need to remember one thing.
Give them hell.
Have a great day, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.